What's up, guy?
What's happening, Clay?
And a very special What's Up guy to our special guest today, Mr. Phil Perry of NBC Sports Boston Patriots Insider. Thank you for joining us, sir.
My guys, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, so kind of just get right into it. We like to say we're a sports podcast, but we're more than a sports podcast. Basically, in our title, What's Up, Guy. So that's how we usually start a show, is kind of just what's up. So we'll start with basically tell a little bit
What's up, Phil?
Yeah, what's up, Phil?
I appreciate it. I like that. Let's keep it conversational. That's what we're always trying to shoot for too. I don't know if we always get there at NBC Sports Boston, but we're shooting for that. What's up right now is, it's sort of a fun time. I just got back from the combine a few days ago, which is about the guys that are at the draft, but really it's more about like free agency buzz, because this is sort of when things are happening. And so, just before I popped on with you guys, I saw the Chiefs are trading Trent McDuffie, who's one of the best young corners in football.
Yeah, we just saw that. Yeah,
that's an eye opener to me. I saw my buddy Jonathan Jones, not the corner. Also a great guy, but the reporter for CBS saying that the Patriots could potentially be a landing spot for DJ Moore, the Bears receiver, if the Bears decide to trade him.
Ooh,
so that's an interesting one. So this is the kind of stuff we get this time of year. So that's really what's up right now. It's a nice quiet house. Dropped the kids off at school earlier today, and so we're just trying to get a bunch of work done, and like I said, just sort of absorb everything that's happening in the NFL.
Of course.
Yeah, that's sweet. So we kind of got a insight on how the front office works with the New York Giants on HBO.
Yeah, the Hard Knocks
series. So that's kind of like the atmosphere, huh? Like when you're there, just these guys just looking across with the binoculars and seeing who's where and thinking of what they can do to get their team to the next level.
So it's really interesting because that's a big part of it for the teams. But there's all this other stuff that you don't see on TV, which might be even more important, quite frankly, right? Like those guys, they're looking at all these, okay, that guy might be a good corner in the 7th round for us. Oh, he looks like he could block on the field goal protection unit. Like that, okay, that's obviously important to a degree. They're also, those same guys are meeting with agents all week, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what do my guys need in free agency? Maybe can we prevent some of them from hitting free agency in the first place, making sure we don't lose them. Those agents, we're not really supposed to do this, but those agents might represent players that are on other teams technically right now. And so we're going to tamper with those guys, and we're going to figure out what they want in free agency. And it happens across the league. So those are some of the important things. And it's obviously a time for teams to get together too. And so I'm sure something like this McDuffie deal, I shouldn't say I'm sure, there's a good chance that something like this McDuffie deal, the seeds for it were planted in Indianapolis. And they work out some details over the course of time.
Okay.
Everybody's in the same place. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Indianapolis, but
not yet.
Great city, small city. It's all, I really like it. It's a lot of steakhouses and dive bars. So like, if that's your thing,
say less.
Like it's a pretty fun place to be for a week. And when it's completely inundated with NFL people, like it just leads to conversations, which can lead to movement. So the stuff on TV that you see is a big part of it, the evaluation, the scouting, but a lot of that's done, during the college football season. Really, like I think the most important stuff is that stuff that happens at the restaurants, behind the scenes, in the hotel boardrooms that these teams are all staying at the same hotels practically. So it's really interesting.
A little bit of whiskey,
Yeah, it's like a good connection, good flow.
No question. That's how it goes.
Where you go. Yeah, we try. So Indianapolis is definitely on the list. I've heard good things about it. That's really interesting.
So just picking up where you were off. So I guess with this new rumor now, with DJ Moore connected to the Patriots, it's obvious and evident that we can just get rid of all of the AJ Brown talk, you would say?
I wouldn't say that.
Without. Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that just yet because let's see where the price ends up being for him. What does Philly really want?
Okay.
Okay.
What they're saying they want
Okay.
right now might be different from what they're actually willing to take for him. So, Howie Roseman's a smart guy. He's done a
Mhm.
lot in terms of being able to,
Tremendous.
to coax value out of other teams when it comes to some of these trades. So they might be saying right now they want a first and a second. I doubt it ends up there. I think what it could end
Yeah,
up
it seems far
costing,
fetched.
and it would be really interesting, would be, are the Patriots willing to give up their first round pick for him? I think it could come down to that. I don't know if they will be, but when
Mhm.
you look at previous receiver deals, including, when Diggs was traded a few years ago, DK Metcalf just this past offseason, an executive I spoke to at the combine
Yep.
said,
Yep.
hey, like, look
Mhm.
at that trade package that Seattle got for Metcalf last year. And that might be what you're talking about for AJ Brown. Those two guys actually played together at Ole Miss.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
so if it's a second round pick, okay, the Patriots second round pick, it's the end of the second round, so probably doesn't get it done.
Mhm.
If the Chiefs or the
Hmm.
Bills or somebody else that's looking for a receiver offers their second, do the Patriots then need to offer their bottom of the first round pick in order to get him? That to me is like the big question. Would you
Yeah.
guys want AJ Brown? It sounds like maybe no.
So I'm a big AJ Brown guy, but I was a big AJ Brown guy. If it cost the first round, and I would be willing to part with maybe like a 3, 4 and a player for him. But I'm not. I'm leaning more towards no at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I love AJ Brown. He's a phenomenal, tremendous athlete, wide receiver. Um, I'm kind of just I'm not in the business of overpaying guys.
No.
I want to overpay the right person. Um, is that athlete a free agent? Do we already have him developing in the system as we speak? I don't know.
Mm.
It's too early to tell. I would love the way that Drake May throws the ball.
No.
It seems as though somebody like I would love to have a splash like a guy like Alec Pierce or even somebody like Shaheed.
Mhm.
Drake May can clearly throw the ball, but how he can even progress.
Yeah.
Question in my mind that he was the MVP by definition,
Percent.
and I don't care who he's throwing the ball to because he makes everybody look good.
What drove me to AJ Brown was just his size, his build. Like it's a big target for Drake, and obviously Drake hasn't had that yet. So I was all in. I was like, yeah, if only Drake had him in the Super Bowl, maybe things would have been different. But again, I'm not willing to give up key
And
assets
I know we still have to
for a guy like
pay
that. And yeah, we have to
potentially.
pay
We
Gonzo.
still
We
have to
have to
figure out what
pay
we're gonna do with Diggs. I
Drake
think he's due like
and Diggs.
26 million
Yeah.
at some point, so we got to figure out what's happening there. And I think that if that happens, I highly doubt somebody like AJ Brown is going
Yeah.
to sign here or
Yeah.
come here. But I don't know.
Mhm.
We'll see. It's still
Who?
very early, obviously. I think we're just reloading opposed to rebuilding now,
Mhm.
based off of what Vrabel and he changed the culture just a year ago.
Of course.
So this is now an exciting time as a Patriots fan, as it hasn't been for quite some time.
For a while. Finally, you guys. Just to pick your brain for a second, Phil. Between AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs, who do you think is more valuable to the Patriots and or Drake May?
Ooh, I would go if you're just talking about in a vacuum as players, I would say AJ Brown just because of his age, because of what he can
Mhm.
do on the outside. I do think Diggs is
Mhm.
really valuable in that, he gives him that over the middle, knows how to get open, secure hands kind of player. AJ Brown's got great hands too. I think he's
Of
had like
course,
one
Mhm.
drop maybe the last couple of years. Um,
he's a
Yeah.
monster.
and I think you just get a little more explosive with AJ Brown, and so you can
Yep.
maybe accentuate Drake May's skill set as a tremendous down the field thrower. a little bit more
Mhm.
with AJ Brown, but then you're looking for another inside guy, right? If you don't have both
Exactly.
of them on the team, then where are you getting that inside presence from? That really hasn't been Kayshon Bouttie's game. I know there are people,
Mhm.
guys, who are with the team who feel as though Boutte is still young enough and smart enough to be able to kind of develop that part of his game where he understands how to run some of those
Okay.
quicker shifting routes and play inside. But it's not really Kyle Williams' game either. It's a
No.
really interesting spot. You talking to a general manager last week about the slot position.
Mhm.
Those guys, those smaller body guys that can't really block, they're kind of falling out of favor because the league is kind of going back to what it was, maybe even more than 10 years ago, where the run game is just more important and you're seeing bigger people on the
Mhm.
field for offenses. They're trying to take advantage of the smaller people that are now running around for opposing
For
defenses. You got
sure, for sure.
220-pound linebackers out there, so teams want to run the ball. Well, you
Of
can't
course.
really.
4 or 5s.
Yeah, it's hard
Fours.
to run it on first and second down if you've got Pop Douglas in the slot, for example, and that's part of the reason why he didn't play
Yep.
as much this past year.
Yep.
And
Yep.
even
Evident, yep.
Diggs is bigger than that, but and he's every once in a while willing to mix it up, but he's not like really a force in the run game either. But like you see
Mhm.
guys like
Mhm.
Puka Nacua is like the ultimate example, right? They'll use him like a tight end.
Love to have him.
But
Mhm.
he's like, he's like one of the best receivers in football. So he gives you that great combination. There's a guy named Omar Cooper in this year's draft from Indiana,
Yep.
who I
Indiana.
think profiles kind of similarly. I'm not saying he's going to be Puka Nacua, but he'll throw his
Right.
body around. He's 6 feet. He's over he's about 200 pounds, but he's tough and he's rugged and, create yards after the catch and break tackles and things like that. So
Mhm.
I just think that's
He caught the game winner against Penn State.
unbelievable.
Was that him?
One of the best,
Yeah.
one of the
Still
catches
Yeah.
of the year.
Of my lifetime.
I mean, it was
couldn't believe
that
it.
was
I
insane.
couldn't
I
believe
love
it.
him actually as a
Yeah.
fit for the Patriots if
He
they
is a
don't
dog.
end up
He is a
getting one
dog.
of these veterans.
Okay. Okay.
I really like Alec Pierce though. To get back to your point about
I do too.
who would you rather have? I just think you put him with Drake May, throwing the ball down the field, and guys, he's one of these players.
Mhm.
It's so rare in free agency. You find somebody who might actually like improve upon their numbers before free agency, right? Like usually you're just you're overpaying for past performance.
You want that
For sure.
baseline.
For sure.
Yep.
This is a guy who's been playing with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Like there's
Daniel
no
Jones.
way like it's no way his
Yep.
numbers just like stayed flat, right? Like I know people who
Mhm.
who are against the idea of signing him, and it's like, well, I don't
Yeah.
want to pay $30 million a year for a guy who like caught 47 balls last year. It's like, well, yeah, but what if he plays in
From.
this offense? Yeah, who's he playing with?
Right. Right.
So like you're going to get a better player than that, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So anyway, I'm with you on that. If they can
Mhm.
figure that out with Pierce, to me, it frees you up to use that
Mhm.
first round pick for maybe an offensive lineman, maybe it's a
Yep.
defensive end, something
Ooh,
like that,
okay.
and it gives you that young player to grow with your quarterback.
So you think the Patriots
Yeah.
stay the course and a couple splashes, at least attempts to sign one or two
Mhm.
big names to help develop and build this program
That to me
in such
should
a
be
short matter of time?
yeah, it should be the approach, right? Like
Okay.
they've got the means to take a big swing or two. That's how I've been putting
Mhm.
it. Like,
Okay.
are they going to be able to get Pierce? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of competition for him. Are they going to be able to trade for AJ Brown? If the price stays the same, I doubt it. Right? Are they going to be able to trade for Max Crosby? I guess they could. He's viewed as like a perfect fit for the Patriots in terms of his style of play and his football character and all that. It's really costly.
Yeah.
However, again, you've got the dough to give up for somebody like Pierce. And even I would say, guys, if you look at this free agent class on the edge, like the Patriots know they need edge help. Kayvon Jason's gonna be a free agent. There's some real players. I think they think he's gonna end up getting paid more than they're willing to give up somewhere else. But Odafe Owe was a guy that gave Will Campbell all kinds of issues in the postseason for the Chargers. I think he's a really good player. There's some older guys that can still play, whether it's Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa or Jadeveon
Mhm.
Clowney. Like those are maybe like 1-year deals, but guys that might, end up being starters for you. Boye Mape is an interesting player from Seattle who they just saw in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they said that there was potentially they were looking to trade for him at the trading deadline, and it just never kind of came to fruition. Or probably Seattle was probably like, no. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, if they really like him and they want going after him, I mean, that's huge. I know Derek likes Jalen Phillips, who I mean, I wouldn't say no.
I like
It'd be
him
crazy
too.
to say no, but yeah.
And that's another one where
it's all about the price point with
Right.
with individuals. Like, I mean, when it comes to free agency, you just got to take whatever you got to play the cards that you're dealt. Like, I understand majority of these guys, they're not big names, outside of the obvious, like the Alec Pierces, but and obviously the Trey Hendricksons. But some of these guys, they play football for a living. They're coming off of injuries. They've proven that they can come back from injuries. We're in a time and space where science and technology is helping players exceed and come back fast, bigger, faster, and even stronger. So you got to take the gamble sometimes. If you overpay, you overpay. There was at one point in time IU could have possibly been on this team.
Right, and he just didn't want to come here. Now he's itching to get somewhere. And if I was the Patriots, I would just be like, thanks, but no thanks. You had your chance. You didn't want to come play with us a couple years ago.
You just never know.
Adios.
But it's evident that Vrabel is bringing a different culture.
Oh yeah.
And working through free agency, and the number one outside of the offensive line, the one thing I'm super proud of this team. Nobody knew we were going to be this good this fast, especially Super Bowl good.
No.
But
as much as you want to say you did.
The only thing that pisses me off is this team has no business picking 31st overall. It pisses me off that we have no business picking 31st. But we kind of competed in the Super Bowl, and we're here. So 31st, if we're going to take a player, like, what position do you think? Are we just going to roll with Campbell and try to get these guys ready for next year? Or
it seems like the positions are all over the place. One guy has offensive tackle, one guy has linebacker, another guy has edge. So it's like kind of pick your brain as
my mindset at that point if we don't trade it, but I assume we trade it. But if we were to take somebody a position.
So to me, it really does depend on what happens at free agency, right? Like if they're able to land an Odafe Owe and, a short money deal with, say it's Joey Bosa. Say he needs, he wants,
imagine
10 million for 1 year, and he wants to play for Vrabel. Like that's a factor here too, right? They're like he's going to be able to attract, especially based on the season they just had. They're going to be able to maybe attract some guys that where they're not necessarily getting the top dollar, but they look at Vrabel in New England and they say, you know what, that's a competitor. I'd rather be there. Like let's make it work. So if they do that, okay, now you're freed up. You don't have to take that edge rusher in the first round. If you kind of strike out in free agency or with Max Crosby, well, now you're looking at the edge and you're looking at somebody like maybe a Zion Young from Missouri, who I know they like, who's bigger, longer. You like him?
Yeah, I love him. Him, and I know he's a D tackle, but Zane Durant at the combine, they both I was just those are my guys.
Yeah,
so I would love them on this line.
I could see something like that happening if you do get some edge help, but you don't get anybody that can, for example, fill in for Morgan Moses, who just turned 35. So happy birthday to him, but he just turned 35. So you got, you know what I mean? Like you got to figure that out. You got to have some insurance there. And that's actually what I would do, I think. Again, let's see if they can get some receiver help. Let's see if they can get some edge help. But it's just so hard, guys, to find starting caliber tackles, left or right side. And this year, they actually luck out a little bit, the Patriots do, in that, unlike most years, you can get some starters at tackle like maybe late in the first round. And so, I just did a 7-round mock. It's on NBCSportsBoston.com right now. You can check it out.
Hell yeah.
We gave them Blake Miller, who's a right tackle from Clemson. Just had a great combine himself. 6'7", long arms. Okay, so you don't have to have that Will Campbell
Oh.
conversation again. But 34-inch arms, really good athlete, just tested great. He needs to get a little stronger, but he's tough. He missed just one practice in 4 years. He started 54 games. He's supposedly
I
this
saw that.
incredible
That's a Vrabel guy.
football character, Vrabel guy. So like that's what I ended up doing for them. And then they got an edge guy in the second round, and they were able to kind of go from there. But it starts with free agency, and to me, if you can pursue Alec Pierce aggressively, encourage him to get to New England, now you're freed up to sort of go with the best. Even if that guy's not going to start, right? He's probably not going to start week 1 of his rookie year, but that's a really hard position to fill. And I think you'd feel a lot better about protecting Drake May if you were able to sort of be a year too early at that spot.
For sure.
I know you said before that you would give Will Campbell another, like you would continue with him at left tackle. What for you would be the best jump for him? Like what he's doing right now, working with, I think it's Armstrong he's working with in the off season, or it just, what does Will have to do in your eyes to be able to solidify the left side? Was he really hurt that much? Is that the reason why he kind of wasn't himself in the playoffs? So yeah.
I think the injury was a significant part of it, whether it was truly physical or if it was mental. Like he just didn't feel confident in his ability to anchor, so that's going to be part of it. And then I think you would see better technique when he's feeling more confident in his lower half. But technique really felt like the issue in the postseason. You got so many of these experts, including Teron Armstead, who you mentioned, and I know did invite him to come and work out with them in Texas. So we'll see if he's able to do that, if they're able to make that connection. But I think he's athletic enough and strong enough. He needs to get stronger and he needs to get better technique. But I think those are things you can improve. And so I would have him play there again. If it goes really, if what we saw in the postseason only continues, well, that you just have it. Like you just at some point you have to look at it and say we got to do what's best for the team. We got to protect the team. That's what Vrabel always says, right? So I would keep him there for now.
You need Drake here for 10 years,
right?
At least,
right. So
he needs to be upright
in camp, and he's getting dusted by Harold Landry on a regular basis. Like that's not great. That's not great. So you'd have to feel like you've got, some sort of plan thereafter.
I mean, it was something looked off. Like he just kept getting pushed back. It just doesn't. It seemed like he just couldn't get set, especially in the Super Bowl. So I mean,
I don't want to. I don't want to. It's not strictly him.
No.
It's what. When are you going to draft 2 of the best graded at atop their position out of the SEC, and they not only play in the Super Bowl, but that's a lot. I could assume that mentally. I mean, these kids. I played this sport my entire life. Like that's a big stage. They were asked to fill big shoes.
Oh yeah.
And they got demolished, but they're football players. Take it, eat it, and we'll see. I think Wilson obviously will go back to his position, I would assume.
Yeah, kick him into center.
And see, if that builds his confidence and gets him back. But obviously, the Patriots are desperate. They're way ahead of schedule. The offensive line was the biggest problem for years. So we're just playing catch up right now. But we got to protect Drake. We obviously see what he has. He's not even at a ceiling yet.
No, so not even close.
It's just what we need to do. I know, and I trust. I mean,
I trust Vrabel with everything.
Vrabel. I trust Wolf. I trust Bob now. I trust Jonathan now, and I trust my guy Phil Perry.
Oh, absolutely. That's where we get all our info from.
And that's really the most important one on that entire list, right? That's as long as you have my trust, I'm sure everything will go swimming. And I have your trust.
Whatever you report, we're right on it. So it goes right up on the page. Like, Phil Perry said this.
Love that. Love it.
I know you're pressed for time. Do you have time for like 1 or 2 more questions with us?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right. Gotta pick the best.
Where are you guys right now, by the way? Where are you? Where I see the banner in the background, which I like. Who's
Yeah,
like
this is
we're
my
our man
my
cave
podcast
studio.
room in my house.
nice,
I'm down in North Shore in Lynn,
Yeah.
nice?
good old Lynn, Mass, the city of sin.
Is the
It's my
banner?
little man cave.
Is the banner from any specific
Last year.
year? It's from last year.
Yeah,
24.
it's
24.
the
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah, love it.
It's the last banner.
That's a nice.
Actually, it was a gift from my mother. She won the Celtics lottery ticket, and she won a package. She won like tickets. She won a banner. She won a autographed Leon Poe photo,
Oh,
Random.
which she gave me. So I have
Near and dear to our hearts, Leon Poe.
I love Leon Poe.
my guy.
Never
You
forget.
know what?
Never forget
If you
when
shoot me.
Phil
Nope.
Jackson called
Game
him Leon
2.
Pow. Remember?
Mhm.
Oh, the disrespect, the disrespect. But that
Yeah.
was that. What an unbelievable
He's the
performance.
monster.
I
Yep.
love
He's
that
the
guy.
monster. For sure. We'll off air. You send me your address. I'll send it to you.
I couldn't accept. I couldn't accept.
Do you want to roll with that?
Yeah, roll with it.
I bet. All right. So, it's kind of a two-parter to start. What is your best moment in being in Boston sports media, and what is the worst moment in being in Boston sports media as a whole? It could be an interview, it could be just a moment, like a game or just something. What was the best of times, basically, and then the worst of times for you so far in your career?
Wow. Great question. Boy, I would say yeah, I love covering the games. Like we do a lot, and our shows, it's a lot of talk show stuff, and I love that stuff too. And I love fighting with Tommy Curran, and I love that stuff. That's like a blast. But I love covering.
We love
the
watching
games.
you fight with them.
I appreciate that. Good. It's at least somebody does. But I love it. I love being at the games. To me, there's juice at the games, unlike anything else. And so, and especially, boy, like how blessed am I to be able to go to a game like, Super Bowl 51 and, just like see that thing play out the way it played out, and then be on TV soon thereafter and discussing it and talking to the players and figuring out what happened, and doing an interview with my buddy James White, who's now coaching high school football. Like, just what a stud. But talking to him about the game-winning touchdown and overtime. I mean, just like that stuff is stuff I'll never forget. So that has nothing to do with anything that like I accomplished.
No,
that's good. That's a team accomplishment.
No, that's a great answer.
But in terms of my enjoyment and my memories and like things that I'll talk to my kids about as they get older and start to get into it a little bit more, that to me, that one might stand out more than any other. But both of those games, the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl and the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl, in 2014, it was in 2015, but the end of the 2014 season.
Games.
Well, I mean, what a game! Like, what's cool
Malcolm
about so the cool thing about that was I'll just a little like reporter insight here.
Sure.
So that whole season, Bill had the players on such a schedule that a lot of the time that we were in the locker room, the players weren't actually there. So we were in the locker room and the players knew to avoid it. And they didn't, and part of that is because they didn't want to say anything that was going to get them in trouble. And Lord knows, like that season in particular, like I had run-ins with guys for things that I wrote that they didn't like because they were getting called out by Bill in front of the team. And so like, it was sort of a tense, it felt like it was a great year, obviously, for them, but also felt like a little bit of sort of a tight, in a stressful way, kind of a tight locker room. However, the one guy who didn't mind hanging out at his locker because he knew no one was going to bother him, because he knew basically no one knew who he was Malcolm Butler. And so when I was in there, I had basically two options, which was, well, I could just stand around in the middle of the locker room and talk to all these reporters that I talk to all the time anyway in our downtime, or I could mosey on up to the kid from West Alabama and talk to him about
Why
life,
not?
talk to him about how he's practicing, talk to him about, but boy, he was like in awe of the food they were getting at the cafeteria like in Foxborough, because like, West
Okay.
Alabama, like you're eating at the gas station after practice, like you're going
Yeah.
to buying
Yep.
your own protein shakes, like, so like developed a great relationship with Malcolm, and then lo and behold, he ends up being the star
A
of the
hero.
night in one of the best Super Bowls ever played, and making the play, maybe the best play maybe ever in a Super Bowl. Like, so that was
Oh, hands
so
down.
like those are the
Yeah.
stories that I could go on and on, but like have been very
No,
lucky.
those are great.
Obviously, had some great moments. Worst, I'll take you all the way back. Take you all the way back to my
Let's go.
first job
Okay.
out of college. I graduate from Georgetown in 2008, wrote for the
Mhm.
school paper. I say, I'm going to let's try to keep this thing going. Let's just see what we can do. So I take the only newspaper job I could get at the time. I sent out,
Mhm.
dozens and dozens, probably over 100 resumes to papers of all shapes and sizes all across the country. And
Mhm.
so it was basically late summer after I was like sort of just screwing around and like, okay, got to bear down and actually try to get a job here. Late summer, I had 2 offers, and one was in Nebraska and one was in Claremont, New Hampshire. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Claremont, New Hampshire. Claremont, New Hampshire is
Mm-mm.
about 20 minutes south of Hanover, New Hampshire, which is where Dartmouth is. It's
Okay.
right on the line with Vermont. I'd never been before. Beautiful town. I love my time there, but I got to be like a one-man band kind of sports section, high school sports, college sports. I'm doing donkey basketball. I'm doing, 80-year-olds, doing decathlons. I'm like anything and everything under the sun. I'm
What a
taking
yep.
pictures. I'm writing headlines. I'm putting the page together. It's like, it was a blast. It was a great first job for me to have.
Yep.
Not knowing anybody up there and being away from my buddies and being away, a girlfriend at the time. And we're like, so
Mhm.
that paper was 2008. A lot of small papers at the time having a hard time. And that
Mhm.
probably stands out as worst day, because I thought my very short-lived career as a sports media person was over. Paper went bankrupt.
Ooh.
Editor sends an email, says, everybody get your what out of the office. The building like basically it no longer belongs to us. Get
Wow.
your bleep and go. And that was it. And had to move back home, and had to try to piece it together and live in my parents' basement. And my grandmother was living with us at the time. It was a scene. It was a scene, and I thought that was it for me as a sports writer or sports media
Wow.
person of any type. And one thing led to another. Ended up at what was Comcast Sportsnet. I
Yep.
don't know, 6-8 months later, and was a night editor there. Got to work from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. 5 nights a week, and was
Jeez.
editing Tommy Curran stories and Sean McAdams stories, and working for the late great Art Martone. So anyway, it all worked out. And I'm very happy that everything played out the way it did. But that stands
So are
out.
we.
I'm very lucky, guys. That's the one time I technically, I guess I wasn't fired, but that's like the one time I've been told to, like, you
Get up
you
and
don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, type of deal.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
wow.
Absolutely.
That's
So
something that
incredible.
was
and then to be, humble enough to sit down with just 2 guys
yeah.
just on the same path. It's I can't thank you and appreciate you enough, boss. I
No,
Yeah.
appreciate you.
I love it. I appreciate you guys having me. This has been great to chat. I was dying when you guys sent out the reel that you found on Instagram the other day. There's some old clips in there. I was like, did my voice really
It took
sound like that? I was like
it
8
took some
octaves
digging.
higher, it felt like.
Oh man, that's our baby.
Boy.
This is our media team.
Back in the
It took
day.
some digging. It took some digging. And then I found the
was-
Kay Adams clip. I was like, ooh, beautiful.
That
Throw
was
that in there.
Oh, she's awesome. She's awesome.
Mhm.
You guys are great. You're doing a great job, and I love
Thank you.
I love the vibe, and I'm happy that we got to connect, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Much
Thank you so
appreciated.
much, sir.
You got anything coming up you want to
Yep.
shout out? I know. You said the mock draft is out.
Mhm.
I got it popped up. Can't wait to read it
Yep.
and go through it. But anything else in the works you want to shout out before we
Mock draft is up and out. We will be doing a live pod as we enter into the legal tampering period next week. So that starts
Okay.
Wednesday, I believe.
I
like,
think tampering might start on Monday. I think
9?
I think
Monday.
the official league
9th, right?
year
it is
starts a
Tuesdays-
couple
2
days later.
before, yes.
Yeah.
So
the 9th, 9, 10, and then the 11th is the New Year, right? Wednesday,
Yes.
I believe.
right.
Wednesday is
Right.
New Year, and I believe tampering is allowed 2 days prior.
Yes.
Okay.
So Kern and I'll do something live from our studio, and hopefully we'll have some big
some more news.
Some big news. Yeah, some big news to report. And if we don't, then we'll just scream at each other about like something.
Those are the
Drake May
best ones
versus
sometimes,
JJ
where you
McCarthy or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. If we had more time, we would dig into that because whenever I heard Curran say he would rather JJ McCarthy over Drake in the draft process, 1, but 2, after his, flash in the pan Monday night game last year, I was like, oh man. Like what are we doing?
I think he's relented.
Love Tom, but
I think he's relented finally. He will jokingly say every once in a while say, you watch he's going to be a player someday, that JJ. But no, I think even he knows he's walking that one back.
Of course. Well, maybe one day we can all chop it up. We'll have him on with you,
That'd
and
be
then we'll really dive in and
there you
dig
go.
into Drake
Love
versus JJ.
Love it.
But
that'd be great.
You can let him know per me that, as the saying goes, players fuck up. It happens.
It's a good reminder. Good reminder.
Absolutely.
All right, Phil. Well,
sir. We appreciate you so much. Again, can't thank you enough. We will be tapping in immediately to this mock draft. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the insight.
Yeah, really appreciative, and good luck. And as always,
I finished the show. I always finish the show with letting everybody and reminding everybody that it's almost impossible to be alive. It's like a 1 in 100 million chance of you making it onto this planet. So take that information with you, sir. Hopefully you spread the message to everybody else, and you have yourself a wonderful day.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm gonna go attack my day right now. I love that. That's great perspective. I love that. Thank you guys again for having me. Good luck with everything. Keep doing what you're doing, and like I said, let's stay in touch.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Appreciate you so
Take
much.
care.